We already know these tiny plastic particles are in our water, our food, even our lungs. Picture in foods. What we're uncovering now is far more disturbing. They're reaching your gut, your brain, and possibly altering how you think, feel, even act. In this edition, we'll go beyond exposure to discover something else disturbing about plastics. Welcome back to part 2. We'll explore how microplastics are infiltrating the gut-brain axis, disrupting mood, cognition, and yes, potentially rewiring your brain. And we'll show the data that's making scientists ask, could your plastic exposure be affecting your mind? The gut-brain highway. What we see inside this model is an animated digestive tract, bloodstream, brain, microplastic particle journey. Your gut and brain are linked by more than nerves. They share immune signals, microbiomes, hormones. This is the gut-brain axis. Recent reviews show that when micro and nanoplastics, MNPs, are ingested, they can alter gut microbiota, increase gut permeability, and release inflammatory signals that travel downstream toward brain function. One review found estimates that humans ingest up to 5 grams of microplastics per week, about the size of a credit card. Another study shows that in mice, exposure to polystyrene microplastics changed gut microbiomes, reduced protective mucin in the intestines, and damaged the blood-brain barrier. So imagine, plastics you swallow may be loosening the gates of your gut, letting inflammation through, hitting the brain's defenses. That's the first domino. Plastics in the brain and emerging data. MRI-style brain image. Report nearly an overlay of 7 grams or a spoonful of microplastic particles in brain tissue. Here's what really gets scientists' alarms going. Microplastics have now been found in human brains. A major study of 52 brain samples found MNPs in every sample and in higher concentrations than in the liver or kidneys. The levels appear to have increased by roughly 50% over about 8 years. Some reports suggest that the average brain in the samples contained about 7 grams of plastic. That's roughly a plastic spoon's worth. Brains from people with dementia had significantly higher concentrations, up to 6 times more than those without. Now, this isn't proof yet that plastics cause dementia or mental illness, but the correlation is strong enough that it demands a hard look. Mental health, behavior, and what it could mean. This screen shows a gut on one side, brain on other, mood icons, stress, anxiety overlay. If plastics are inside your brain, what might they do? Research in humans is still early, but there are clear patterns. Animal models show MNP exposure can reduce social behavior, impair memory, and reshape neurotransmitter levels. With your support, please hit the like, comment, share, and subscribe button, and help us to continue to make informative videos. Now back to the program. Also, microplastic exposure is tied to gut dysbiosis, imbalanced gut flora, which we know is strongly linked to depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline. So let's be clear. Plastics, gut damage and inflammation, signals to the brain. Plastics, cross-gut barrier, bloodstream, brain tissue. Plastics inside brain tissue, potential influence on neural pathways, mood, behavior. That's how microplastics might not just be in us, they might be changing us. Changing how we feel, think, react. Person with plastic in their bloodstream. Why this isn't being discussed in our government, and why is this information a secret? Why are plastic factory assembly line, big chemical corporation logos, people microwaving food in plastic containers not giving warning? So why isn't this plastered on every front page? Because plastics aren't just convenience, they're an economic engine. The chemicals added to plastics, like phthalates, BPA, are known endocrine disruptors, yet regulatory focus remains weak. But you don't have to wait for the headlines. Here are practical steps. Avoid heating food in plastic containers. Studies show heating boosts particle release, so choose glass or stainless steel for drinks, food storage. Reduce ultra-processed foods, which tend to carry higher microplastic loads. Improve indoor air quality, HEPA filters, natural fibers. Airborne plastics are a growing route of exposure. These aren't perfect fixes, but when the science says something might be rewiring your mind, even small defenses matter. We've covered the gut, the brain, the possible link to mood and mind. In part 3, we're pulling back the curtain on the industry, regulators, and the hidden trade deals that help keep this silent invasion under wrap. Again, if you found this eye-opening, do me this favor. Subscribe, hit the bell, and share this with someone you care about. Because if microplastics are rewiring minds, we can't wait for official warnings. I'll see you in part 3. Until then, stay curious, stay protective, stay aware.